Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, Costa Coffee, Gloria Jeans, and now the mother of them all, Starbucks, the latest entrant in the so-called premium coffee segment in India. The iconic coffee company is all set to capture this market that's pegged at 1,000 crores currently. Starbucks' entry into India will be in the form of a 50-50 joint venture with the Tata Global Beverages Group. But the premium segment is hardly a rosy ride. In fact, other coffee rivals are struggling to get their strategy right, the only true winner being Café Coffee Day, who are currently straddling the mass segment. The question then is, does premium coffee have enough potential in this tea-loving market to emerge as a profitable business? Khushbu Patodia and Sakhi Deshpande bring you an in-depth analysis.
Over 17,000 stores across 57 countries. 1,500 outlets in China alone, and 35% of operating profits from the Asia-Pacific region. But a meek 30 to 50 outlets in India after 8 years of strategizing. That's the plan that the Seattle-based coffee giant Starbucks has for one of the world's largest coffee-producing markets, India.
We plan to deliver high-quality coffee here in India.
The decision has taken the coffee powerhouse many failed attempts to enter this market that is now estimated to grow at over 30% year-on-year. That's not all. This is the first time Starbucks has entered the market with a local partner and will be co-branding its stores and products with its counterpart. The India outlets will hence be called Starbucks, a Tata Alliance.
This, to my mind, is not a brand name. It is something that might appear on an application I make to the Registrar of Companies. But imagine it on a shop front. Starbucks, a Tata Alliance. What am I going to say to you? Let's meet at Starbucks, a Tata Alliance? No, I'm going to say let's meet at Starbucks. So whatever you may decide, this joint branding, so to speak, in effect, I believe it will be just Starbucks.
Taking the co-branding exercise a little further, the partnership will enable an expanded range of beverage offerings for Indian consumers. One of these being Starbucks' premium tea product, Tazo, that will be available at Indian outlets, renamed as Tata Tazo Tea. And here's how Tata plans to leverage Starbucks' global network.
For example, the Himalayan product, which is now very much a part of the Global Beverages portfolio, we expect will be launched in stores outside India. Starbucks carries packaged water, and there's really no reason, and they agree that a source water like Himalayan is certainly a candidate for entering into their system globally.
Historically, Starbucks has retained its US pricing model in every market that they have ventured into. But will they follow the same pattern in India?
We will adapt our pricing based on the demand from the Indian consumer and what we see here in the marketplace. At the same time, we offer what we feel is a unique experience.
Knowing the Indian market and the price elasticity of products here, I would assume that their pricing here would be at least 30% lower than the US market.
Here's a look at the major coffee players in India and their growth year-on-year. Café Coffee Day had the first mover advantage with its early entry in 1996 and currently leads the pack with 1,230 outlets across the country. Not just that, with a 53.8% market share, it also boasts of the highest footfall as compared to its competitors.
One thing that people have to bear in mind is that we are not a habitual coffee drinking nation. So that is the most important thing to bear in mind. So there cannot be any natural assumptions that we open an outlet and X number of cups will get consumed. Does not necessarily happen. There is an effort that goes around establishing each outlet in this country. And there is a very important need to, buttress the beverage of coffee along with tea and several other food options and stuff like that. The residence time per table, I would say, is higher in India. People tend to spend a lot more time in cafes when they come in.
Barista, that operates in the mass premium segment, follows next in line with only 230 outlets across India and a 21.9% market share. International chains like Costa Coffee and Gloria Jeans occupy only about 5.4 and 1.3% of the market pie, while Coffee Bean's market share is so minuscule that it falls in the others category.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to what makes business sense for a company. At least from a Costa standpoint, I truly believe that growth needs to be sustainable and growth needs to be profitable. We don't open outlets or expand our territories for the sake of expansion. So I think there is a wait and watch game. If you expand too early, there are possibilities that the profitability may get affected. If you are too slow, obviously you give a chance to competition to creep onto you.
While international chains plan to focus on the limited premium consumer base, that's not where the volumes lie. Research shows that 72% of the customers are students and young professionals who do not have the disposable income to afford a cup of coffee that comes at a premium. And that's where the success of Cafe Coffee Day lies.
The critical thing is not about how many outlets you have, but what do you stand for. As you know, internationally, specifically in the US, Starbucks was the third meeting place. So you have the office, you have the home, and you have Starbucks. Starbucks in the US was the alternative to the pub in the UK. In India, we have the Adda and the Katta, and there are enough places for us to hang around. In that context, will Starbucks in India serve the same purpose that Starbucks did in the US? I don't think so. There are enough other alternatives available to me. Then the question is, so what will Starbucks stand for? I don't think that any such thing works purely on the magnificence of its product offering.
And then there is the challenge of balancing between high rentals and profitability, given the lack of infrastructure in India, along with inflating real estate prices.
I think real estate space is at a premium. The prices continue to move northwards to an extent that real estate prices have become fairly unreal today. I think that's one of the key challenges that we face.
But Starbucks seems to be betting big on its partnership with Tata on this front.
A partnership, the companies such as Tata, they have the local knowledge on the real estate market. Right. They have opportunities to leverage their capabilities in this area and their current infrastructure. And we want to use that to effectively grow the business for both our companies.
I would imagine that the Tata part of the JV is not giving it away free. So eventually the real estate of the Taj Hotel will have to be paid for. Its availability is a great advantage, but it's not going to be free.
The so-called premium segment too is rather niche in a market like India. For Starbucks, the road ahead is going to be anything but smooth. But if played right, this coffee giant actually has the best chance of creating a niche coffee segment and generating demand. While globally Starbucks has a history of breaking even in 18 months, the Indian market may not be able to rewrite history for this coffee giant. In India, it takes a minimum of 4 years for any international player to break even. But the good news is, India will be able to see its first Starbucks outlet by August this year.